the security agents, these are people that are involved in any election. So I think a lot they have done wonderfully well. But don't let us give them 100% until because it is not over until it is over. But by and large, I think Nigerians are becoming they are imbibed, because democracy is a culture. It's not something it's evolving. It's something that it's not something you learn or you grasp in a day. We are referring to America, referring to this and that. You know, they started somewhere. So we are moving. But there is a need for political education to be at the tempo of political education to increase in Nigeria, so that people will continue to be participating. And you know, there is no perfect election throughout the world, but for this, I think we are getting good feelers from here and there that people conducted them. The electorate are not the problem, but the political class, who will now send some people to go and do this, to do that, to disrupt or snatch ballot and what have you. But the electorate are participating intelligently, at least in Nigeria, political process. I think that is a good moment, but we need political education. You media organizations and teachers everywhere, everybody, the clergymen and the rest, we need to continue to educate people that there is a need, because those who fail to participate in the election of wise men will live under the government of worst men.
Hello,
who is speaking, please? Hello, who is there, please?
Sunday Adedina covering Ayedire State Constituency.
Okay, Sunday, how are you?
Sunday Adedina is my name. I'm calling from Ayedire State Constituency.
Okay, I've heard that. Ayedire, so what is the situation in Ayedire State Constituency?
To give you situation reports here at Ilogo, the local government headquarters, where collation of results is ongoing now. However, voting has ended in most of the polling units, and results have been trickling in down to the local government headquarters. But as of now, the
we have Sunday there calling from Ayedire local government, to be precise. He said results are coming in from the ward levels to the local government collation center. Hello, I think it's back now. Sunday. Sunday. Okay, maybe at least he has passed some information to us.
Bí mo ṣe ń fẹ́ béèrè lẹ́ẹ̀kan, ẹ ti bó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ọ̀nà kan náà ni ẹ̀yin ti dìbò, ṣùgbọ́n ojú yín tó àwọn nǹkan kọ̀ọ̀kan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ láwọn ibòmíì, ìròyìn míì sì tún ti tẹ̀yìn lọ́wọ́. Níwòye yín pẹ̀lú ìdìbò tó wáyé lónìí, kí ni ìwòye yín?
Ká kọ́kọ́ wò wípé torí àlàáfíà ló ní ọ̀pákùtẹ̀lẹ̀ fún ìdàgbàsókè àwùjọ, bóyá lórí ètò ọrọ̀ ajé, bóyá lórí ètò òṣèlú, kò sí nǹkan kan tí ó jẹ́ pé àlàáfíà ò rọ̀ mọ́. A rí pé lónìí fún ọ̀fíìmù náà gbá láwọn àbìkọ̀ kan, ṣùgbọ́n kò dàbí tìgbà kan tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ti gbé ilé ìbí o, wọ́n ti gbé tọ̀ ń bí o, tó wà rí gbígbé náà torí àwọn tó yẹ gbé nǹkan náà wọn ò yé mọ́ gbé, ṣùgbọ́n ẹlòmíì ó ti gba ìdájọ́ tán ní wọ́n máa ṣe, ẹlòmíì ò sì tí ì gbà. Ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé a rí pé àlàáfíà ó jọba. Àwọn olùdìbò ó dàbẹ̀ pé ọgbọ́n ti ń yé wá sí, torí ní ìsìn kò dàbẹ̀ pé ń wo ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú, ṣùgbọ́n kí ni ó fẹ́ ṣe fún wa ni wọ́n ń wò. Ẹ wo irú àwọn ẹlẹ́gbìmọ̀ aṣòfin, ẹ rí i pé eléyìí tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní tọ̀hún yẹn, ẹ rí i pé dídí gómìnà bíi mélòó kan ó ní wọn ò ráàyè rápáláwọ ibi tí gbogbo wọn máa ń lọ ẹ̀yà sí ẹ̀tọ́ wọn lọ sí. Ẹ rí i pé àwọn èèyàn ti ń wo àwọn òye wípé eléyìí òun ni a fẹ́. Àwọn ó sì jẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ náà fún olóṣèlú wípé àkókò ìdánwò òun fún ọmọ iléèwé ó ní ètò ìdìbò fún olóṣèlú, pé nígbà tó bá ti ń ṣe tó bá ti mọ kàwé ẹ̀bọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ kò wá lè díjọ́ kan kó wá fi ọjọ́ àjòrè kan náà blé ojú ọ̀ lọ́wọ́.
Yes, hello, good evening. Who am I speaking with? Hello. Hello, I can hear you. Good evening. Exactly. Yes, we can see you clearly. Please continue talking. Okay, maybe we attend to this first. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. This is Solana for on the line.
Okay, how are you, Dapo?
I'm fine, sir.
So, where are you?
We are now at the collation center in Deputation Town Hall, in the headquarters of Oriade local government, sir.
Okay, that's good. And what is the situation there?
Yes, the sorting and counting of the result is ongoing now, and they've started collation of the results, sir.
And the results arrive from all the wards in that local government to the collation center?
Exactly, sir. Exactly, sir.
Okay, so is that all you have for us?
That is all I have for you for now.
Okay.
We are waiting for other wards to submit their results so that the collation will commence in earnest.
Okay, maybe you speak with Apostle Adede for a while in Yoruba.
Dàpọ̀ kú ṣẹ́ o.
Yes, ma.
Ok, ìròyìn wo lẹ fẹ́ fi tó ayé tí?
Wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ka ìbò, wọ́n ti ṣàkójọpọ̀ rẹ̀. Báyìí bí mo ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, a wà ní inú gbọ̀ngàn táwọn ló ṣe ìjókòó ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Oríadé, ibi tí wọ́n ti ṣàkójọpọ̀ gbogbo ìbò tí àwọn èèyàn dì níjọba ìbílẹ̀ náà.
Okay, we have another person now online. Yes, hello, you are on. Please go ahead. Hello. Okay, hello. Are you still there? Maybe we allow our guests to continue.
Bí mo ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn ìwòye tí a rí pé ní ọ̀tẹ̀ yìí jíjáde àwọn olùdìbò kò ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ dàbí ti àtẹ̀yìnwá. Oríṣiríṣi nǹkan ló sì lè fà á. Ẹlòmíín sọ pé òṣòwò, ẹlòmíín pé gan di gan bí kan ní òrì. Ṣùgbọ́n tó ṣẹlẹ̀ náà ni pé a gbọ́dọ̀ máa rárá wa létí wípé a nílò láti máa kópa nínú ètò ìdìbò yíyan olórí àti adarí. Gbogbo ilé iṣẹ́ móhùnmáwòrán, ilé iṣẹ́ rédíò náà ń pariwo fáwọn èèyàn wípé ẹ jáde torí ojúṣe wa ni. Agbára ó wà lọ́wọ́ wa. Fún ọdún mẹ́rin ẹ tí ó tukọ̀ ọbẹ̀ a fẹ́ sọ fún pé òkè gba agbára yìí afúnṣọ́ni ẹ o. Ṣùgbọ́n tó bá ń dà bí ọ̀bá lòdà tí ló ń padà bọ̀ ẹ̀rí gbólóhùn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní wọn gan nísìnyí ni wọ́n ń yálé àwọn agbára gan, wọ́n yálé ojúlé gan sìn pé ẹ wá ẹjọ́ ẹ dìbò fún wa. Àníṣe tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ti rò pé àtẹ́gbọ́n bá mọ̀ pé òun ó dé èèyàn ìwọ̀nba ní òrò bàbá bí aṣọ. Òun ni eléyìí sọ fún wa ń sìn, kì í ṣe pé ọ̀rọ̀ pé ẹgbẹ́ kan gbé mi lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ kan ò gbé mi lẹ̀. Ìwọ gan tó ọmọlúwàbí ẹ ṣe lọ́dọ̀ àwọn èèyàn rẹ, òun ti ń sọ fáwọn olóṣèlú ní àwa àtàṣìjẹ́ olùdìbò náà a ká máa rán ra wa létí tá a bá gbowó tá a gba nǹkan kan tá a fi ẹ̀rí ọkàn dìbò. Àṣẹ bí tó bá tún sọ pé òjò máa ń pa àyàn wọlé kan lẹ́ẹ̀mejì. So kí àwọn olùdìbò ká má ka rẹ̀ torí pé eléyìí ó dàbẹ̀ pé àwọn tó ń jáde ibi tó ti yẹ ká rí bí 100 a lè mọ rí bí bóyá bí 60 èèyàn tó jáde láti dìbò. Èèyàn tó sì ń lọ náà ní gbòòrò báyìí ó dàbí kó tún ṣe àkóbá fún àtijáde. Ẹlòmíì àníjẹta ló ti lówó lọ, ẹlòmíì àní 100 naira ló wà lọ́hùn bó kò gbòòrí yá, ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ìṣòro yóò di àfẹ́yìn tí egun fi aṣọ ká má ka rẹ̀ ká tún máa kópa ká dẹ̀ máa lara wa lọ́yẹ̀ yìí pé àwa náà ní agbára wà lọ́wọ́ wa láti lò ó bó ti tọ́ àti bó ti yẹ.
Are you not surprised that we are still witnessing this issue of ballot snatching and what have you? It appears as if we had that last when perhaps Chief Olusegun Obasanjo was the president. We have also seen that happening again.
You see, recently, you see, we had ballot snatching in those days, but later vote buying came in, replace ballot snatching. But there was no way to buy vote now. Then people, some of them resorted to ballot snatching. I think this is barbaric.
Hello, how are you? Hello, I can hear you, please. Hello, Tosin, I can hear you.
This is the person from the police.
Okay, thank you.
start anytime now.
Okay.
And I would like to tell you that Ward 1, 2, 3, and 4 police officers have arrived the police center right now. So in the matter of payments, the collation of the results begins.
Okay, how many wards do we have in that local government? Do you know the number of wards there? Because we have four had arrived. Okay, 10 wards, so we are expecting 6.
I can't get that.
Okay, there are 10 wards in Malaysia East local government. Is that what you are telling us?
Exactly, there are 10 wards.
Okay, and 4 wards had arrived. Is that the case?
Hello?
4 wards had arrived at the collation center. Result of 4 wards had arrived at the collation center.
Ward 6 and Ward 4 and 6 have been sorted out right now by the police officer.
Okay, thank you. So maybe you speak with Abosalu there for a while.
Hello, person.
Hello?
Ṣé ẹ kú àtàwọn?
We were ní ìdíkàǹpé ní police center ní Ilesa East báyìí. Lẹ́yìn ìgbìyànjú máa rí àwọn aláboyún tó dìbò tí wọ́n wà ń bẹ̀ tí wọ́n ń ṣe bí hello.
A wà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀.
So wọ́n wà ń bẹ̀ báyìí tí wọ́n ti ń ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo sọ lóde ìbò wọ́ọ̀dù ẹlẹ́kẹfà àti ẹlẹ́kẹrin tó ti dé sí police center báyìí. Ẹgbẹ̀rí àwọn àgbẹ̀ tó dìbò wọ́n wà ní ìdáyé tí wọ́n ṣọ̀tì ẹ̀ka out.
Ó túmọ̀ sí pé ìbò wọ́ọ̀dù 8 lókùn tí wọ́n ṣe retí ń bẹ̀ ìgbà tí 2 ti dé nínú 10.
Anyway, I think we got you. Thank you. When you have other updates, you can please let us know.
Oko padà tún pé ìwà tó bá ní tó fẹ́ fi ṣọwọ́ sílé.
Okay, this
yes, ballot snatching now you see has been replaced with a vote bank. But now that it is pretty difficult, it is even easier for the camel to pass through the eye of the needle. For anybody to get a quantum of money that he will use to buy votes these days. So, and that I think I want to believe that that was what brought about the restoration of ballot snatching. And we need to commend the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria because he warned maybe a day or 2 days to the election of the presidential election and the National Assembly elections. And he said that whoever does that is doing that at his own peril. You see, and there is no body that will perish except the children of perdition. So, and I don't believe that this age somebody will now be a tool in the hands of politicians. And you look at it, I think those who are doing that, they need to educate them. You see, when you look at the number of the members of National Assembly now, you discover that the son of political juggernauts, the heavyweights now, are now making inroads into the National Assembly. And you are being, they are now giving you a job to go and snatch ballot people. The likes of, I don't want to mention them, we know a lot of them that are there now. The only thing is that the party will pick them in order to favor, and the only thing they can do is to give you marijuana and give you gun and other instrument of destruction to go and destroy or distort the election. I think well, we cannot, out of 12 disciples, we had one. Definitely, we cannot agree with that. But with this, if we can continue this way, and there is no way people will be buying votes, I think we are going to sanitize it. The issue of ballot snatching, you know, is a very difficult one. Except somebody who has signed his will, I will venture into that. But for you to buy votes, you know, they know how to go about it. But that has been reduced to the minimum. If at all, I have not had cases of that, because that was the thing that was coming up because of stomach infrastructure. So ballot snatching has replaced the vote bank, which we did not have the opportunity to do. That is,
it's not that they are,
but it's not all that rampant.
Well, you know, they don't need to do it everywhere. They know their targets. Of course, if you are popular, you don't need to disrupt the process there. So it's a way of, I mean, reducing the strength of an opponent.
But one thing is this: you see, we have a lot of things they have come together to form the electoral process. A lot of institutions are there. we are talking about but the political class are the ones that we should appeal to. So if you are not ready to disrupt a particular thing, then you cannot give money to anybody to go and disrupt any election. If you know that going there is for you to serve the people, why must you go there? And you know that it's 50-50 by Buhari's order. It's 50-50 when you snatch ballot. If you are caught, definitely he has instructed that they should use justifiable force. Let me put it that way. So justifiable force can be determined by the security agents that are there. If they know that you want to harm them, they can do away with you. So if somebody knows that he wants to die because of somebody whose son or daughter will now go to National Assembly, goody and tom, and you now, by the time even when you are being shot, if you are not killed, you will be named, and then you continue to suffer for that, and the next day the politician may not know where you are. So I think people should be instrument of development rather than instrument of destruction in this electoral process. We continue to appeal to them.
ẹ ṣeun Yorùbá bọ̀ wọ́n ní ọmọ ọlọ́mọ làárọ̀ ṣe èdè tó rí kí wọ́n oríṣiríṣi ìròyìn láti ẹ̀tí lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára lónìí nígbà ètò yìí káàkiri àwọn ọkùnrin wọ́n yọ̀bọ̀n síra wọn àwọn míì palẹ̀ àpótí ìbò wọn palẹ̀ mọ́ níbòmíì gan wọ́n kan náà sí tí wọ́n dáná sùn àwọn èèyàn wá sọ pé orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà dàbí epo yìí òṣèlú ti yé wájú gbogbo ìta tó ń rí lónìí lọ kí lẹ́rù kó fàtó lọ.
ṣe rí owó tí ó ti yé wa tẹ́lẹ̀ ṣe pé ńgbà tí ká jí àpótí ìbò yìí ká dì mọ́ra ká lọ ilé ìbò ká da ìbò rú ká kánná síbò ká ṣe àwọn èèyàn tó wà níbẹ̀ lọ́sẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n pé ó ti gògò nígbà kan tó ti dìde ṣùgbọ́n gbò yá olùkọ́ olóṣèlú wa ṣe mọ̀ pé ojoojúmọ́ ọpọlọ wọn ń ṣiṣẹ́ ìṣẹ́jú náà nígbà tí a bá ní à ń ṣe ìjọba bá mú àwọn èèyàn wọn dárúkọ wa jẹ́ àwọn tí ẹ mọ̀ pé bí wà ń lù nígbà ibi yìí náà tó wà ń lù kí la lè fi ṣe ni pé ẹja máa ra agbára wọn lọ́wọ́ wọn ẹja máa ra ìbò wọn lọ́wọ́ wọn ni wọ́n fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ yẹn ẹ rí i pé nígbà tí dìbò ṣe bẹ̀ ló kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ńgbò ya dìbò ọ̀ra lẹ̀ ńgbò ya dìbò ọ̀rẹ́lé ńgbò ya gan-an ilé ìdìbò ọ̀la lọ bí òkúkọ ra mọ́tò kó o ní ẹ́stéètì kan ní ìsìn ọlọ́run gbàdúrà ìyẹn ló mú kí máa gbàpótí wọ́n rò pé ìyẹn agbára ni ṣùgbọ́n agbára míì tán wá lò ní agbára owó sì rèé nǹkan míì ni ìgbà yẹn tí ó wá di pé wọ́n rí gbòòrà ṣùgbọ́n ní ìsìn tó wá di pé owó wá di nǹkan míì lọ́jà tó jẹ́ pé níjọ́ mẹ́ta gan bá lé lé mi ó lè mọ́ ní 200 naira lọ́wọ́ ó sì ń wo owó ní àsùnwọ̀n àkáǹtì rẹ̀ yóò bá rí gbà gan yóò fẹ́ tòtòtò ní báńkì nígbà tí ò wá sí yẹn ó wá pẹ́ tí yóò pòun wá lówó lódù tí ó mọ owó kiri ìgbà yẹn náà tó tún padà ní òdìbò ọ̀rọ̀ ká tún máa gbé àpótí ká tún máa ṣe ṣùgbọ́n ó yẹ kí ètò yẹ̀wò bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ náà ẹ̀wọ̀n ọmọ tá a bá bí ní 1999 àbọ̀ ọmọ iye tó ti graduate tán ti kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ jáde tán ti ń ṣe kínní ó yẹ ká máa gbọ́n sí i ṣùgbọ́n àwọn tí wọ́n ń lò yìí náà kọ́lọ́ máa ṣe wá ní irinṣẹ́ èṣù kó máa ṣe wá ní kò sẹ́ni tí ó ṣègbè àyàfọ́mi ègbé kò tí bá ṣe wí náà akọ ó sì sọ pé ẹran mi èmi ò lọ iṣẹ́ rere ló yẹ kán jẹ́ but iṣẹ́ ẹbí ni àwọn ni wọ́n lọ jẹ́ ní lọ́rùn pẹ̀lú lọ́mọ ẹgbẹ́ àpótí lọ́mọ ẹgbẹ́ kínní ṣùgbọ́n eléyìí ó yẹ kí àwùjọ wa kó ti ju bí ó ṣe wà lọ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ pé à ń gbé àpótí ìbò à ń ràbò à ń tàbò ó sì yẹ káwọn ata ń dìbò ká mọ̀ wípé agbára ni ìbò yìí ló jẹ́ fún wa nítorí pé àwọn olóṣèlú ẹ̀ wo nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́nujọ́ mélòó yìí tó di pé àwọn èèyàn wọ́n rí pé kì í ṣe ẹgbẹ́ náà ń wò pé ẹni tí àwọn òdìbò fún ní wọ́n wò bí ẹlòmíì bá sì tó bá débẹ̀ tó bá ń papá gàgà ẹ̀fílẹ̀ ẹ̀fílẹ̀ ẹ̀fẹ́ pé ńgbọ̀ bá yá sí bí yóò padà ìmí ìfẹ́ lọ ó lè lọ́mọ ó fẹ́ lè mọ dọ̀bálẹ̀ lójúlé ó yẹ káwa mọ́ náà wọ́n gbàgbára tá a ní ẹ̀kú yẹ ká máa tà tàbí ká máa lò wá gẹ́gẹ́ bí irinṣẹ́ ká máa da nǹkan rú torí gbogbo wa náà dẹ̀rí kò sẹ́ni tọ́lọ́run dá rere mọ́ ẹ̀jú pé àwọn olóṣèlú dẹ̀rí wọ́n mọ bọ́ ṣe ń kó ọmọ wọn tí wọ́n kó bọ abẹ́ tó ń bọ́ bá ti sọ́màdé láti ìlú èbó ní wọ́n bá tún forúkọ wọn sí ẹgbẹ́ mi ẹni báyìí ní kẹ́ ọmọ mi báyìí ni mo fà á lẹ̀ èyí ni àwọn yẹn fẹ́ ọmọ mi ẹ dìbò fún yóò wá di pé àwọn tó ń sin àwọn yẹn ṣùgbọ́n àwọn náà kò sẹ́ni tọ́lọ̀ wò dáadáa mọ́ káwa náà ò rí i pé ìkópa wa nínú ètò òṣèlú ó jẹ́ ìkópa tí ó mọ̀gbọ́n dání tí ó sì mú ìdàgbàsókè bá àwùjọ èèyàn fẹ́ẹ̀ nípa ẹ̀jẹ̀ débì kan ó yẹ káwa náà máa béèrè bá a ṣe dìbò fún ẹ yìí lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó ń ṣojú wa ó yẹ ká máa béèrè pé ó dáa o ti débẹ̀ o nǹkan báyìí la nílò níbí ibi àdúgbò tó bá ra ẹ̀rọ amúnáwá sí ṣẹ̀wọ̀n kó dáa ju pé wọ́n kó fún yàn pé dìbò ṣe bẹ̀ ẹnìkan yóò gbà yẹn ra mọ́tò fẹ́nìkan ra nǹkan kan fẹ́nìkan yóò tán ibi tí wọ́n bá ṣe ọ̀nà tó dáa kí ni ó débẹ̀ ibi tí ẹ̀rọ amúnáwá bá wà télọ̀ tó wà ńbẹ̀ aránṣọ tó wà ńbẹ̀ yóò jẹun bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí ń gé irun bẹ̀ yóò jẹun gbogbo oríṣiríṣi tó ń ṣe àwọn tó ń ṣe tó rọ̀ mọ́ iná kò sí ẹ́nájì ní kẹ́nyẹ́sìn wọn ó jẹun ó bẹ́tà ká máa béèrè àwọn nǹkan tí máa ń pẹ́ ju nǹkan tí ó kàn fùfú lórí ètò tẹ́ pé wọ́n fún yàn 20,000 ìgbà tí ó bá dìbò mélòó kíkà torí wọn ìrẹ̀ tó bá gba owó yẹ̀ ìwé òun pé ńgbà bá fi owó tí ò lè kọ́ ní tí. nígbà tó bá jẹjẹ akẹ́ni ńgbà ló bá fara ló wá di pé àwọn olórí burúkú la yàn bọ̀ tí owó gan náà kò lẹ́nu àti pé yàn lólórí burúkú ọkọ má jẹ́ pé òkúta sọ gbọ́pẹ́ ọ̀pọ̀ padà sọ tó bá ti gbowó o ò lè pẹ̀lú lólórí burúkú ṣùgbọ́n tó o bá ti gbowó mọ́ pẹ̀lú lólórí burúkú ẹ máa béèrè ni pé nǹkan báyìí la nílò láwùjọ wa nǹkan báyìí ni ó ń dùn wá n tó wuni ní pọ̀lọ́lá ẹni ológun ìlú àbẹ̀mọ́ jẹ́ kan àdúgbò mi lè jẹ́ amúnáwá kí ni ò jẹ́ ojú ọ̀nà kí ni ò jẹ́ omi kí ni ò jẹ́ oríṣiríṣi nǹkan ní àdúgbò kọ̀ọ̀kan ìpèníjà kọ̀ọ̀kan ló ń bá wa òun ló yẹ ká máa béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn tágbó wa bá dáa táwa náà rí kíní kò sẹ́ni tí ò lè dáa kò sẹ́ni tí ò lè ṣe rere pẹ̀lú ìwé iléèsìn ó dàgbọ́n olóṣèlú náà wọ́n mọ̀ kọ́gbọ́n pé ẹ̀wà ò kì í sọ̀rọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ lélẹ́yìí o ọmọlúàbí tàbí ìṣesí ìhùwàsí èèyàn ni àwọn èèyàn ń wò sí o ẹ̀rí pé gbòǹgbà yìí tí ó rí ibìkan bá lọ ibì kan lọ lẹ̀ nígbà dìbò ààrẹ ẹ̀rí pé táwọn ilé ìgbìmọ̀ asòfin ẹ̀rù unit míì níbi tó ti dìbò míì ti ààrẹ lè lọ òkè kí ti kíní wá gbé tí kíní wá lẹ̀ ìbí ó lè jẹ́ sẹ́nétọ̀ ní òun òkè tí yá nǹkan kan táwọn èèyàn ń wò sí ó dàbí pé òye ti ń yé wa ọlọ́run dẹ̀ fi yé wa dáadáa.
Still within the same realm of this ballot snatching. There are also instances when INEC officials are kidnapped and taken away to unknown destination with electoral materials. One would have thought that by now we ought to have gone on this level. While ago, while you were speaking, you appeared to have made INEC to some extent. In the real sense of it, are we actually moving forward?
You see, there is one thing that we need to look at. There are instances whereby some of the ad hoc members or staff members who participate in the election trained by INEC will compromise. But definitely we say that INEC has compromised a particular election. And that is the problem that we have. INEC will not go to USA to recruit. I'm not saying that they are perfect, what they are doing is perfect. But one thing is that Nigerians, we need to learn one lesson. We read about a professor who at least committed a kind of electoral compromise election result and what have you for a particular politician. And that man said he didn't send him any message. He's a professor. So if you now look at that level, to become a professor, you know what it takes now. You must have written a lot of papers, national, international, and what have you. Then to have gone to that level, then not to talk of core members and what have you that they have been, or some workers within the state or within the federal service that have been recruited. But one thing is that Nigerians need to change our cycle. Because one thing is that INEC will not go beyond Nigeria to recruit people. So we need to change our orientation. When you are participating in this, you tell your conscience that you are doing it. It's a national service. We pay you a kind of honorarium or what have you. But at the end of the day, you need to know. Even those you say some people are being kidnapped, it can be arranged. I mean, this is a country where you see some who arrange that they are kidnapped and send the fathers to come and at least send bail out or what have you. Even some religious leaders will do it, and the church members will be campaigning for how to get the money. So it can be arranged. But one thing is this, that INEC should, there is no way INEC can test those people that will be recruited within the short period of time. But there is the need for them to monitor. And where we are talking about, we are having those problems now because it's a national election. And you know how many police do we have? Out of the number of police that we have, at least 50% of them will be at least taking care of the security of the politicians and those who are there are people in Nigeria that are having the sufficient number of them, but that does not guarantee the security of life, because God owns everybody's life. So the security, I think there is a need to improve on the security of election units and what have you. Not only that, you see, people, we are not talking about carrying arms and weapons alone. There should be intelligence gathering report and what have you. So people can be there, they monitor everything A to Z, and you wouldn't know that they are security personnel. So we need to have surveillance and intelligence gathering mechanism even before the election. They need to comb the area, know, and some of these things they can get whatever is going to happen in the election day. Because you factor, you will add this plus this, and you'll be able to get those who are trained in that act. So we need to improve on our security network when it comes to election, because we know that Nigerians are there, and definitely we need to at least increase our, not only carrying guns, use some other gadgets in order to detect those who are doing that and what have you. So at the end of the day, we'll be able, and I think INEC should also keep those people that are in the polling units. They can, some of them can hold pen, and that will record what goes on there. Even when some people are now coming to kidnap them, they will know everything, so that at the end of the day they will be able to do. So you know that when you carry gun and what, I think when we talk about security these days, it's a multi-level. It's not only that when you carry machine gun and what have you, show intelligence rather than show of force. I think would be better for the security of and there is a need to do that. You know, killing of innocent corps members, that killing of personnel and what have you, all these things should be discouraged, because the bond of any Nigerian, and is greater than whatever nation that we are going to have.
Ní Yorùbá ẹ tún bá sọ tí ẹ ti sọ léègùn ẹ bá sọ ní Yorùbá pàápàá jùlọ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tó jọ ní ètò ààbò láwọn ibùdó ìdìbò. Àwọn èèyàn gbà pé ètò ààbò wa kò tí ì lópin tó ní irú ìwé ìsìnyí bọ́ àwọn ẹ̀rọ ti di amọ́ra pẹ̀lú àwọn nǹkan ọjà tí wọ́n bá kàn ya bo ibùdó ìdìbò kan ní wọ́n lè palẹ̀ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ olóògbé ìdìbò ní pàápàá jùlọ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ìdàbọ̀. Irú àwọn ọmọ aṣèrú ìlú àwọn àgùnbánirọ̀ tí wọ́n máa ń lò ó palẹ̀ omi mọ́ tí ẹ ń gbà wọ́n bá ti palẹ̀ odidi omi mọ́ kí wọ́n sọ pé ètò ààbò wọn ní kò fẹsẹ̀ wọlé dáadáa ẹgbẹ́ kí ní òye tí.
Tábà wò ó a rí i pé ètò ààbò lórílẹ̀‐èdè ní gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ó pàkàṣọ, ṣùgbọ́n tó bá dìgbà ìdìbò báyìí ó yẹ kí ètò ààbò tó tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ro tó tó ju bó ṣe yẹ tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ, torí àwọn elétò ìdìbò àwọn tí wọ́n ń gbà náà ó yẹ kí wọ́n kọ́ wọn káwọn náà bẹ́ẹ̀ gbọ́ wípé ẹ ń bá mú kọ́kọ́rọ́ kan jọ àlọ́wọ́ ilẹ̀kùn ìbànújẹ́ ní fi ṣí. Tó o bá di pé gbogbo ìbò táwọn èèyàn kan ti di ìwọ náà wàá sọ pé o fẹ́ lọ náà yí bì kan ṣe bàbá ara ẹ̀ náà nìyẹn. Ètò ààbò òru tó tó bẹ̀ náà ni láwàá pé àwọn gidi gan kú tí wọn ó dé dédé tí wọn sọ pé ẹ̀yin wo ni kí lẹ́yìn ṣe ń bẹ tó bá ti fi ìbọn halẹ̀ àbáda halẹ̀ òun kálukú wà bí gbà. Ètò ààbò nítorí ẹ̀jẹ̀ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ nínú ètò ẹ̀ rí pé àwọn ìbò tí wọ́n ṣe ní àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan káàkiri tí ò jẹ́ pé ó papọ̀ báyìí ẹ̀ rí pé ètò ààbò bẹ̀ gan bí eré sí bá tún ṣe wọ́n wọn kó wọ́n ro tó tó torí pé àwọn elétò ààbò ó tó ní àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n fi ránṣẹ́ sí títò ìdìbò àtàwọn tí ó wà ní àárín ìgboro tó yẹ pé kó tó débẹ̀ gan ṣebí mo bá ráàyè débi tó ti dà nǹkan rú ni mo fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ tó fẹ́ ṣe, ṣùgbọ́n kó tó débẹ̀ gan wọ́n ti hẹ́ ṣùgbọ́n pẹ̀lú iye àwọn elétò ààbò tá a ní kò dàbẹ̀ pé ó fẹ́ẹ̀ tó fún ètò ìdìbò yìí bí wọn ó tún máa gbà yẹn sí ni o ṣùgbọ́n àwọn nǹkan náà táwọn elétò ààbò náà kì í ṣe pé ó dìgbà bá gbé ìbọn gbé gbogbo ẹ̀ àwọn nǹkan kan wà tí wọ́n lè ṣe nílẹ̀ àjọ ọ̀làjú míì tó ti wà tó jẹ́ pé kó tó di pé ó débì kan náà wọ́n ó ti kó tó di ju ó gbé kọ̀ lágan gbogbo èrò tó ń gbà gan wọ́n ó ti túká ẹ̀rọ pé nígbà tí ẹni tó bá ṣe sí ara ewé nígbà ọjọ́ bá dé ọjọ́ òtúká ṣùgbọ́n àwọn nǹkan wà tó jẹ́ pé àwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n lè máa lò fún àwọn elétò ààbò náà ẹ má jà parọ́ èèyàn náà ni wọ́n o tí èèyàn bá rí ẹnìkan sìn tó mú kóńdó dání ó dúró níbi ojú tó dìbò ó sì lóòjọ́ ọlọ́pàá àfi tó wá ti ẹ pé ó ti ka abíbí rẹ̀ dáadáa pé kò sí ohun tó ìjà tá a ṣe sí mi tí ó borí ẹnìkan ni yóò dúró tó bá rí ẹ tó ń gbé K47 tàbí àdá paná tó ń gbé bọ̀ ṣe mọ̀ pé irú àwọn ó yẹ kí wọ́n fún wọn ní nǹkan àmúyẹ tí wọ́n ó lò ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan àmúyẹ náà kì í ṣe pé ìbọn nǹkan gbogbo ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ó yẹ kí oríṣiríṣi nǹkan wà tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ti ṣètò fún ètò ìbò abádẹ́rì owó rọ̀gbọ̀rọ̀gún náà tí àjọ elétò ìdìbò béèrè gbogbo àwọn nǹkan bá wáyé àti ló ti yẹ kán bá àwọn ọlọ́pàá àwọn DSS àwọn gbogbo wọn ṣe ìpàdé lórí rẹ̀ torí ààbò yẹn ó yẹ kó ọlọ́nìkan làbọ̀ ẹ̀ dájú lórí ohun gbogbo ṣùgbọ́n ó yẹ ká gbìyànjú kárí pé ètò ààbò yẹn náà wọ́n tún mójútó ẹ wo ibòmíì àgbọ̀ pé wọ́n pa ọmọ ọlọ́mọ tó lọ sìnrú ìlú tán gbé pé kókó Yorùbá mi ò ní kọ́ wàhálà dé wọ́n balẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn kan mọ́ wọ́n kó wọn lọ àbí ìgbà ẹ̀sọ̀nù ọlọ́lámì òdìbò bá rí gbàgbọ́ tó rámi rẹ̀ ṣé rìsọ́ọ̀tì lánàá abéèrè èsì ìdìbò lánàá abéèrè bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn àbí ká fi àwọn tí wọ́n kó ń papá mọ́ra tán lọ kókó lọ fún kan fi wọ́n sílẹ̀ ṣẹ́rí kó ti di nǹkan méjì àdúrà kan ló kù ẹ tú wọn lẹ̀ láàmú ẹgbẹ́ láàmú àdúrà sí èsì ìdìbò mẹ́yẹn mọ́ so ètò ààbò ó yẹ kí á wọ́nà sí ó ṣe bá gbà ṣùgbọ́n tó ṣẹlẹ̀ náà ni pé ìdajì ọlọ́pàá náà ta ní ìmọ̀ ó ti kó lọ sílé àwọn tó nífọ̀ọ́ ilé ìkan náà tó rọwọ́ rọrí láwùjọ ẹlòmíì ọlọ́pàá 4-5 ní sọ ṣùgbọ́n ká gbà pé kò sáàbò kan ọlọ́ọ̀ ní òfò àbẹ̀ bí bàtálíọ̀n bá ń sọ̀yàn tí kú bá dé ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà orílẹ̀‐èdè bàtálíọ̀n ní ìlú ẹ̀mọ tó sọ brigade of peace nígbà náà sì ní ọ̀dà ààbò ti ṣe tán o kò sí nǹkan tán lè ṣe so ohun ètò ààbò yẹn ó yẹ kí wọ́n mójútó kí àjọ elétò ìdìbò kí wọ́n dìbò kí wọ́n máa fi pẹ̀lú àwọn elétò ààbò káàkiri kí wọ́n jọ máa sọ ṣùgbọ́n tí ìbá ṣe pé ìwọ ọmọ ní mọ́mọ́ jòkì gbẹ́ kí ni gbàmọ́ ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ ọ̀làjú kì í ṣe pé àwa kó ọlọ́pàá dà sí kíní yanya náà ní ètò àgbàbò yẹn yẹ kó jẹ́ tí àwa gan bá ti ronú ara wa wò tá a sì ṣe tó tọ́.
Let's look at our political class because at times when you see some of these unpleasant happenings development you cannot exonerate them.
Sure. Yeah.
And at times, to those of us who are journalists, if you are not so careful, they will turn you to a fool. Because you have this accusation and counter-accusation. At times, you ask yourself, who do I believe? So the best thing is just to stay off. And meaning that they are always on top of their game, and they are always in the position to ridicule whoever, you are talking about police now, yes. Journalists, INEC, at their own advantage. So if you look at, and when A is making, we have had a party saying, we have been attacked, we have been shot at. The same party B will also make the same allegation. And at times you ask, who is telling lie and who is saying the truth? Is that not a sign of desperation?
You see, the political class, and when we talk about desperation, I think every one of them, the political class, they are all involved. Because, and why are we being desperate to get to a particular position to serve? If it is a call to serve people, why the desperation? But the desperation is born out of the fact that our politics is highly monetized. Because we don't know up to today. We only know 30,000 as a minimum wage since they are implementing it. But we don't know the minimum and maximum wages of the legislatures. Even the states, we won't know. And that is the only thing that binds our politicians together. I used to be, it is disheartening when you see people talking about, oh, this is a progressive, this is a regressive, this is anti, this and that, anti-people, this is for the people. The senators in Nigeria, whether you talk about senators in Abia, whether you talk about senators in Osun, talk about Jigawa, well, and the members of House of Rep, they have one thing in common, and that is their salary, their personal emolument. That is what binds them together. Why is it that some progressive will say, okay, when we get to the Senate, we are going to table it and discuss it, that what we are taking is much. So they are all involved because of the fact that they see politics as the means of making it. That is the, and some of them, they don't want to leave that political scene. Because leaving political scene is just like taking fish out of water.
Please, let's take
okay.
Hello? Hello? Nathaniel Ugoke, how are you? Where are you now?
Presently, we are at the center.
Okay, Coalition Center, INEC office, Ejigbo local government. Okay, so what is happening there?
Around to contain and the numbers of people there, especially the party supporters, they are here to witness the announcement of the result by the returning officer.
What is the situation? What is the situation over there?
Very calm, sir. The situation is calm. No violence, there's no inconsistency, no possible.
Okay, so the exercise is entirely peaceful in the Ejigbo state constituency.
The atmosphere is peaceful entirely.
Okay.
Nathaniel Ugoke kúṣẹ́ o.
Ẹ ṣé o.
Bóò lójú ọjọ́ rí ibi ilẹ̀ ṣúdẹ̀ ní apá àbí tó lọ.
Níbi tí a wà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ a ti wà ní ibi tí àjọ INEC yóò ti kéde àbájáde èsì ìdìbò tí ó wáyé lónìí. Lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ àwọn àjọ elétò ìdìbò wọ́n ti lọ́kàn kejì tí wọ́n ti ń dé sí ibùdó tí àjọ INEC yóò ti kéde ìdìbò fún àkójọpọ̀ ìdìbò ní àwọn wọ́ọ̀dù káàkiri.
Bóò wá ní gbogbo ṣé wọ́n ti kó gbogbo ìbò tí wọ́n dì láwọn wọ́ọ̀dù wọ́n ti kó gbogbo ẹ̀ débi tẹ́ wà yìí lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ àbí wọ́n ṣe retí tàwọn míì tí ò tí ì dé.
Gbogbo rẹ̀ ò tí ì dé. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwọn lóòótọ́ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ àgbélé tó dìbò tí wọ́n ṣètò káàkiri ìjọba àti ìpèsè wọ́n ti wà ní ibùdókòó nínú gbọ̀ngàn tí wọ́n ṣètò. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tí wọ́n wà ní ibùdó ètò ìdìbò káàkiri ọ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan ìdèjì ní mọ́tò tí àjọ INEC pèsè fún wọn fi wọn dé. Ó dàbí ẹni wípé wọ́n retí kí àwọn kan tún dé sí kí wọ́n tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní àwọn kéde àwọn ètò ìdìbò yìí ní wọ́n àwọ̀.
Ọ̀dà àmọ́ retí ìròyìn lóyún tó bá fẹ́ fi wọ́n ṣọwọ́ sí wa láìpẹ́.
Ẹ ṣé.
So the political class, they have that thing in common. That is what they want to get from the system.
And they are desperate about it.
And they are desperate about it. No, you say for doing nothing. Yes, for doing nothing. And that's why you see being in the parliament should be a kind of part-time basis, sitting allowances. Some will not even go, maybe some will just stay at their constituency, but at the end of the day, you're not like any worker who will not report. When you don't report, you have query. Have you heard about that? That somebody, a senator, has been querying for this and that. And even one went to the National Assembly.
A came about the rule is facing trial in the UK for more than 3 months now.
So I want to know, if you have to investigate, the salary is ongoing. Definitely. You know, the only thing they need to show to tell us is that, oh, this is what I've gathered. And you know what? Somebody went to the House of Records, said it, and said, I have 4 wives and 27 children. You know, that is to tell you that I'm a man. What says
A strong man.
A strong man, yeah, not ordinary man, a strong man. What is the meaning of all this? So I think until and unless we try to at least minimize the extent of the use of money in our political atmosphere, that is where we are going to have sanity. But for now, everybody wants to get there because it's the cheapest thing. And now in Nigeria, we discovered that some of the politicians are not professionals, but they are professional politicians. So a professional, you have one thing or the other that you are doing, so that if politics fails now, definitely you go back to your profession and start practicing your business, making your money. But in Nigeria, you see even young people these days, what is this thing? I'm a politician. What is this? I'm a politician. At the end of the day, you know they are thinking of one day they'll get there, even right from the local government level. You see, by the time these are people we meet yesterday, and by the time they get there today, it's another story. So, and the thing is, I know, don't you know I'm an honorable member of the House, honorable this and that. So we are not saying you are not honorable, but the point is that we need to reduce, if we want to get the benefit of democracy, we need to reduce at least to the barest minimum the salaries and allowances of some of these senators. I think your child, when he was the Senate president, I think Professor Wanda Abimbola Sani, he was a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria then. So when Abacha took over, you know, Prof said he had to take a cab from Abuja to Oyo because they were being paid sitting allowances. So he couldn't at least buy all these big cars. But the first thing they do is that give them sleeping allowance, wardrobe allowance, newspaper allowance, the laptop allowance, and what have you. Before you know it, it's something that the professor will not collect. Even for a single salary, the professor may not be able to collect that for 4 years. So that is the problem. That's why they are desperate. If you talk about that, you could see if you move out to but the way we are running it, you see, I think, and it's affecting the productivity of the country called Nigeria, where a sizable number, when you have the National Assembly together and all the houses of assembly and look at their salary, definitely you know that it is into our budgets.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry.
So yeah, please speak louder, please. Let us hear you clearly.
So that's okay.
Where the election is still on the way. We have an official I think through the resort being brought from different wards and polling units from across the local governments, everybody local government area. Yeah, we have here every presence of military personnel and police men and other security agents to keep the troublemakers at bay. A lot of people also gather here, expecting the result to be declared any moment from now. We are made to understand that after collected results here, then they will have to move again to the constituent secretariat, the constituent secretariat. That is where the result is expected to be announced to people. We don't know when that's going to be done, but we are here monitoring the event as it unfolds.
Sẹ̀yà Ṣókùnṣẹ́ bá aṣọ tó sọ ní Yorùbá.
A sì wà ní collation center ní ìlú Ìkirè, St. John's Anglican Primary School ní ìlú Ìkirè. Àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ INEC wọ́n ń fojú wo inú ìwé tí wọ́n ń kó wá láti gbogbo àwọn ward àti polling unit. So a sì tún á rí i pé ọlọ́pàá àtàwọn sójà gbogbo ọ̀nà dó wámúwámú pé àìbá mọ́ ẹni tó bá fẹ́ ṣe bíi mọ̀nàmọ́ná pé kí wọ́n fi ọwọ́ òfin gbé. Wọ́n ṣe ń kà lọ́wọ́ àwọn èèyàn náà àwọn aráàlú wọn náà ń wòran wọ́n ń wo ibi tí ó jà sí. So wọ́n sì tún wá sọ fún wa pé tí wọ́n bá kà tán ní bíbá yìí wọ́n tún ń lọ sí ilé secretariat ìrèwọlé local government area. Ibẹ̀ yẹn ni wọ́n ní pé wọ́n ti máa ń sọ ẹni tí ó jáwé olúborí. Ó jẹ́ ẹni tí a ní ká tó ń létí. Àmọ̀gbà tí yóò parí.
Bàbá parí náà ló parí.
Bàbá parí náà lẹ́yìn tó darí wáyé. Àwa náà wà nínú.
Èmi lè rí jẹ́. Yes, Ibe Wole Ìṣọ̀kan is a state constituency with two local governments. So of course they have to have the two together before we can know the winner from that.
Ẹ ṣeun ẹ kú òun láti ẹ̀kan bàbá wo bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ nípa ètò ìdìbò àti gbáradì ní o.
Hello, please hold on. We have Adekunle on. How are you, Adekunle?
Thank you very much.
Is it?
Who are new Christian Center Eden State Constituency? Who are in Christian Center, the North State Constituency number 1. Who are new iṣẹ́ wà ní gómìnà ẹ̀dẹ̀ sí fún ẹ̀rìn ọ̀ṣun ní gbígbádà lẹ́lẹ̀ ibẹ̀ ni mo wà. Ní lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ tí a wà yìí àwọn returning officers world returning officers wọ́n ti ń dé sí ọ̀dọ̀ àjọ INEC tí wọ́n sì ń circulation yẹn lọ́wọ́ tí ẹ bá wo bó ṣe ń lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀rí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn àti àwọn agbófinró àwọn pàtó tí wọ́n wà bí àwọn ṣiṣẹ́ ìgbàlẹ̀ tí a lọ́fà tí ó dé àgbàmìrò ní wà ní àti ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọ́n sì ń retí àwọn míì ní ìwọ́de àwọn tí ẹ̀rọ ọ̀gbìn ní ẹni àwọn agbófinró àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ àtẹ̀lẹ́wọ̀lẹ́ àwọn ẹni tí wọ́n ti wà níta ń jẹ́ bó ṣe ń lọ nígbà.
Okay, so Adekunle, let's have you where are you and what is the situation over there?
English.
Well, this is the Pollution Center for the North State Constituency within the headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission along Eden Road with the government. As you can see, these are the commission of the officers for the local government and the red commission officers are going to present their results. So the commission is presently running and we have and security officers there present. And just outside of this hall, we have adult staff. I'm sorry, the video I know the players they are comprising of the youth club members. Some of so far, of about 4-5 works have been done while security officers are coming in and the situation is peaceful relatively. That's a situation where you have the government state constituency election center.
And what by relative peace? What do you mean by that word? What you said the atmosphere is relatively peaceful. What do you mean by that?
I can't hear you, sorry, I'm being...
Okay, don't worry, keep us posted as events unfold. Thank you, we expect to hear more from you. But you are in Eden, you are reporting from Eden North. Okay,
Yes.
okay, so that's the situation from Eden North State Constituency. According to Abraham Adekunleku, collation of results is ongoing.
bí mo ṣe ń béèrè
And that's also the situation from Irewole local government, meaning that voting has stopped virtually everywhere. And even from Ejigbo too, that was the information we received.
ẹ ṣeun ọ̀gbẹ́ni ògbóyè bí mo ṣe ń béèrè lẹ́ẹ̀kan kí aṣojú kọ̀ọ̀rọ̀ wa tó pè wọlé wípé púpọ̀ nínú àwọn òṣèlú wa wọ́n ti sọ òṣèlú di ètò ìdìbò lórílẹ̀‐èdè kan wọ́n ti sọ di kàkà kíkú májèsè sí àfiṣàwádànù wọ́n mọ́ múra àgbò bí ẹni múra àgbò ni ṣòye orí bẹ́ẹ̀ níbi tá a bá dé.
kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan kan ló wà amúkan ẹ̀rọ ẹ̀wọ́ òkèlè kẹ́mi wo ìsàlẹ̀ ló ti wọ́ wá kí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni tó jẹ́ kó wọ́ wá náà ni pé owó àpèkánukù a ti fi ẹja àbẹ́ràn sí olóńgbò lẹ́nu ó kà ti ṣe gbà ó owó tí àwọn asòfin ń gbà ṣé ó yẹ kó sóòkùn sí a àní a máa fi kíní tọ́ra wa jẹ́ ayò tọ́ra wa jẹ́ ìdújẹ mẹ́fà àtúndọ̀bù ìní èjì ẹ̀ta ẹ̀rin àwọn oníṣọ̀kan ṣe wá sọwọ́ bá ṣé ó yẹ kó ṣe é ṣe bóyá ó kó di agbára péré àfọ máa yò sí kí n tí wọ́n ń gbà ló mú kí wọ́n sọ di kàkà kí ikú mọ̀jẹ̀sìsì àfisàwọ̀dànù ẹlòmíì tí ẹ bá mọ ìgbésẹ̀ tí wọ́n ń gbé ó yí wọn ó sì yí ọlọ́run ó sì yí ẹni tí wọ́n jábọ̀ fún náà tó jẹ́ ọlọ́run ẹlòmíì kò mọ nǹkan kan láti ṣe ẹlòmíì dúkìá ẹgbẹ́ rò pé owó mi tẹ́lòmíì ná sí ìdí òṣèlú yìí tí èèyàn míì bá tí èèyàn bíi mẹ́rin márùn-ún bá rí owó yẹn títí tó ìwọlẹ̀ sùn wọn ò ní tòsí torí pé wọ́n mọ̀ bó ń ṣe náà ṣùgbọ́n àwọn tí wọ́n ń ná bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn tí wọ́n ń ta ibi wọn lè ẹlòmíì ò ta lé ẹlòmíì ò ta lẹ̀ ẹlòmíì ò ṣe gbá yóò ṣàwo ó wà gbára kó tó di kó débẹ̀ kí náà lórí ẹ̀ náà ni pé owó náà ni wọ́n ní káàkiri. tá a bá wo ní ìgbà tí òṣèlú kó tó di pé Abacha gbàjọba súnmọ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní àwọn aṣòfin ìgbà yẹn tí tájọ máa ń aláwọ̀ tó ń gbà bí àlùjọ ẹgbẹ̀rún márùn lọ. tẹ̀bá rí wọn kẹgbẹ́ àwọn tó ń jẹ́ kínní nígbà yẹn lóòótọ́ owó níyì náà gbà yẹn ṣùgbọ́n kò ju ẹgbẹ̀rún márùn lọ. bóyá wá rí nǹkan ní o pé owó rẹ kó ra nǹkan kan tán lè máa gbà bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni àwọn tó wà ní Àbújá ṣùgbọ́n ní ìsìn ìyàpò wo ni àgbà owó ìṣẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ dúpẹ́ ń gbà gbẹ̀rù wọn ń gbà a sì mọ iye tí wọ́n ń gbà a wà rí pé tá a bá ṣe àkójọpọ̀ owó tí àwọn aṣòfin tí wọ́n ń gbà lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà ó dàbẹ̀ yín pé kíní wọn ó ti ń jẹ ju ajẹ tó lóko ní ìjẹ ni wọn.
ìjọ yẹ ká mọ̀ tiẹ̀ lóye táwọn
ó gbógun tí à ń wí náà ni ó yẹ kò sí nǹkan kan tá à ń dọwọ́ bó tá a bá ní ìjọba àwa ara wa kí wàá ní ìgbà yìí bá débẹ̀ tẹ́ pé ìjọba ti yín ní ọ̀rọ̀ owó yín ọ̀rọ̀ nǹkan kan bí wọ́n bá sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ bá fẹ́ kàn wọ́n tẹ́ bá fẹ́ tọ́ wọn kan yẹ nìkan sọ̀rọ̀ nípa owó wọn àti rí aṣòfin kan tó ṣe lẹ́nu bóyá aṣòfin Kaduna tó ní táwọn gbà táwọn ṣe kinní kan wọ́n pa lẹ́nu mọ́ wọn ò jó padà abẹ́ ó ṣe orí ni ṣe bọ́ wà bí náà lò lórí àyìnbá bá wà gbogbo ọ̀nà tá a sí ọmọlé tó jẹ́ pé òun gbé yàrá wò wọn wípé wọn ò ní máa fẹ́ tó àṣírí pé wíwo lẹ́nu awúwo ni ọ̀rọ̀ wọn á dẹ̀ rí pé kò sí kankan nínú wọn náà tó jẹ́ kinní á pé àwọn kan wọ́n wà ní ẹgbẹ́ eléwéjú ìkan ẹgbẹ́ kinní àwọn ló mọ ìjọba ṣe ló jẹ kí ló dé tó jẹ́ pé ti Abia àti ti Kano àti ti Ọ̀ṣun tí wọ́n ń gbà yẹn wọn ṣe sọ pé eléyìí tá à ń gbà ìpọ̀ o ẹ jẹ́ kí n fi díẹ̀ lẹ́ o kí lu ìwọ ká máa kí wọ́n sọ́sá pé ìjọba àlùyọ kọ́ máa bá fi tún ojú ọ̀nà sí. lẹ́yìn ẹ̀ náà yóò tún gba owó pé afẹ́sọ̀nà pọ́jẹ́ẹ̀tì kan wà nǹkan kan wà bàbá débò mí ẹnu gbẹ kẹ̀gájọ̀rọ̀ tá a bá gbẹ́ níjọ́ bá ti ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ọ̀dọ̀ àmì sí látòrí ni ìjọ yẹn náà ló ní ọ̀yọ́ mọ́. so ilé owó yìí ó ti pọ̀ jù kí ló jẹ́ pé àti pé ìmọ̀tara ẹni nìkan kò sí pé mo fẹ́ lọ sin ìlú mọ́ tó bá jẹ́ pé mo fẹ́ lọ sin ìlú ni gbogbo wọn ti sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn dé ẹ bá béèrè ilé olóṣèlú ni mí ẹ bá béèrè tán olóṣèlú ni kí wàá ní sẹ́gbòógì tó ní tó ṣèlú bá túká kí ló fẹ́ padà sí kò sí nígbà tí ọba dẹ̀ láfojúsùn ní nítorí bá rí ẹ̀ náà ló wà yín mọ́ ṣùgbọ́n owó yìí àwa abẹ tí ó wà ṣètò náà ní ìgbàsófin ṣé ọ̀bẹ amúkọ́ gbé ìkúrò ara rẹ̀ ṣé wọ́n lè ṣé wọ́n àmọ́ ìfàyàní ní kúrò lè mọ́ra yẹn kẹ́ni kan pé wa òun ló òun láyà kò jáde o wà á ní ọjọ́jà sọ pé òun ló ń dá ìlànà o táyọ̀ ti dọ́rùn rẹ̀ kó tó mọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n kò sí inú wọn ta aláwọ̀ abẹ́ ìsìn sí wọn wípé owó yìí ó dàbẹ̀ pé ó ń pa ìjọba tiwantiwa náà lórílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ó pa gbogbo òṣìṣẹ́ ẹ̀yẹ ló ní kíní kíláàsì tó fún náà ọdún owó tí ò ní gbìmọ̀ kọ́ lọ́wọ́ ṣe fún wa tí wọn ò ní gbìmọ̀ ìjọba ti sọ yẹn náà lọ́ fọ̀ pa wọn.
àwọn àdìgbìmọ̀
nígbà tó wá di tiwa kọ́mítì ó máa lọ lóríṣiríṣi tí ó fọ kọ́mítì méje lè máa wo ilé ó lè máa wo tọ̀ nígbà òkú wa tó yá yóò tún dé ìpínlẹ̀ náà bá tó yẹ ìgbìmọ̀.
ìgbò bá wá yóò kù sọ́nà.
nígbà òkú wa yá gbogbo àwọn tá à ń ṣe wo lórí òṣìṣẹ́ alàgbà náà àjọ wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ náà gbà kan wọ́n lọ lọ báyìí ṣe kọ́mítì báyìí ṣe mí lórí pé wàá da kí ní gbogbo aráàlú yóò sì ti wá mọ tẹ̀sí tí lè fi jó ṣùgbọ́n tí àgbọ̀rí ilé ìdẹ́rìí tá a bá ṣọ́ra ó ń ṣe àkóbá tó pọ̀ kì í ṣe pé tá a bá ṣọ́ra fún ètò ìṣúná ẹ̀rọ iye tí wọ́n ná bàbá láwọn fẹ́ náwó kan iléjò wọn láwọn ná nígbà bílíọ̀nù bá tó lọlẹ̀ ìgbà tó jò bá rọ̀ làṣírí òtù ìgbà lójò ń jọ sí ó sì fún wa padà ìgbà tí ó lè ní ó tún ti wá lọ kó àwọn ọmọ ogun ilé náà jò wá gbogbo owó ilé ló ń fa kí wọ́n fẹ́ kú bẹ̀ kò sì yẹ àwọn tó bá níṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́ tàbí tó ti fẹ̀yìntì ló yẹ kán bá débẹ̀ pé bàbá kẹpẹ́ owó àbáwá owó ìjókòó yìí rèé ń ló yẹ kán máa gbà tó bá ń gbà yí owó yòókù àárín ná sí ètò ìjọba àárín ná sí yíyí gbogbo nǹkan míì tó kù díẹ̀ tó dẹnu kọlẹ̀ so ọlọ́run ràn wá lọ́wọ́ ṣùgbọ́n bàbá rí yẹn ṣe kò sí bí a ṣe fẹ́ ṣe o ibi pẹlẹbẹ náà ni ọ̀bẹ ọmọ fi lélẹ̀ o tó bá jẹ́ pé a tún tẹ̀síwájú lórí owó tí wọ́n ń gbà kò sí ẹni tí a ló sì pèsè àfikábí ọlọ́run sí ẹ pé ẹjọ́ kọ́lọ́run kó sí wọn nú torí ẹ tá a bá lè mú ọlọ́run là á bẹ̀ sí o.
Okay, this issue of juicy political offices, of course, had placed our political class in a vintage position to be able to influence things easily. And that is why some of them can easily engage these so-called talks. But let's look at going beyond that level. There was this issue of vote buying. Though, except from one state in the North Central, where there is a report that 20 people have been arrested by ICPC or EFCC officials. I can't remember the particular one now. It appears as if this vote buying has to some extent gone down. Is it because of this scarcity of naira?
Yes, I want to say that it's because of this. And perhaps the idea behind it was to curtail this issue of vote buying. But for how long are we going to be having such a policy? Painful whenever we are going to have election. Are you going to be mopping up all money in circulation and say you want to do another one in the next 4 years? But I think there should be a place, a situation whereby we bring an end to such a thing. Because vote buying, I don't know the type of political education we want to give to the voters. Because voters, if they can participate intelligently, say we want to give somebody 20,000 naira for 4 years, divide it, the number of days, how much are you going to spend each day? So, but the problem why we are having a drastic reduction in vote buying this time around has been because of the cashless policy and what have you, that people are not getting money. So it is when you get money that you'll be able to, and if you want to transfer, definitely you'll be caught. That's another thing. Because before you now transfer, somebody's transferring
it has records.
So that immediately you can be apprehended. Through that process. But are we going to be using this type of policy every 4 years when we are going to have? The only thing is that we need to sensitize our people. We need to tell them the evil of vote buying. But because of poverty, people will argue that because of poverty, because of this and that, definitely does that 20,000 naira, that's the maximum they can give to some people. 10,000, 5,000.
Some people were even fooled during the last election.
They collected their account, but those who collected their account number knew that it will not be possible for them to transfer, because everything you are transacting online, definitely there is record for that. And for an individual now to transfer certain amount of money to 100 people at a time, you know, that becomes pretty difficult. So I think that's the policy has brought a kind of drastic reduction in vote buying. But do we continue this way? Except that we need political education. We need to give our people the needed orientation so that they'll be able to at least shun away all these corrupt practices by the politician. But if the political class, I doubt if they can listen. I doubt. Because tí o ra ọ̀bára àbí tí o tàbátà kí o ra ọ̀rà and so vice versa. So if they don't give out money to people, people will still go there and vote. So the stomach infrastructure of a thing and developed into vote buying and what have you. And this is inimical to our democratic process.
Lẹ́yìn ìkókó ìtẹ̀sọ̀dé ìfún nípa àgbà títà bòrabò tí ètò ìtura sówó tí wọ́n yẹra ń ta lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta.
Ọlọ́run mú ajá ìgbòdà lórí fún lọ́rọ̀ owó tí ò sí pé wọn ilé ẹ̀ka pé olùkẹ́rẹ́ yẹ kò ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ hàn torí tẹ́lẹ̀ àwọn alówólódù bí ìyòrí wọ́n ti gbé síbì kan tó jẹ́ pé bó bá ti ń ṣe báyìí wọ́n gba ọmọ tó bá ti dìbò tán wọ́n mọ ọmọ fún ọ ní ẹlòmíì ọ̀rẹ́ àbò yóò ṣe bẹ̀ yóò sì wọ́n bẹ̀ níjòlè níjọba tán ilẹ̀ tó ń ra nǹkan kí lè kọ tìlú ò bá dáa ẹ̀wọ̀n ilé ẹgbẹ́ èèyàn gba nígbà Júdásì fi Jésù hàn ní gbogbo owó tó ń ṣe kínní ó ju owó wọn lọ fi ra lẹ̀ ọ̀pẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀jẹ̀ kí ló fẹ́ fi owó tó kò tán ìṣẹ́ lóòótọ́ iṣẹ́ àti ìyá pọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n tá a bá lè panu pọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí olùdìbò tá a lè sọ fún àwọn olóṣèlú pé àfẹ́ owó yìí nǹkan báyìí la fẹ́ láwùjọ wa ilé ìwé mú kó dínkù ṣé ọdọọdún náà láwọn máa gbé ọdún mẹ́rin láwọn àwọn pé ká kówó lẹ̀ kò ṣeé ṣe torí ìnira tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ lórí táyà ìlú ìbàdàn náà ń transfer sí fọkànáísà
àwọn ìlànà
ṣé ọdún mẹ́rin láwọn máa ṣe léyìí ṣùgbọ́n ó jẹ́ kí ó wá sí ó jẹ́ kí kéde kó lọlẹ̀.
Thank you, Mr. Obiyemi, for your contribution.
Thank you.
This is how far we'll be able to go on this session. There will be another session, another session, another session.
Parliamentary session.
We are here clubs. So for now, we want to take a break. We want to take some commercials, and I also believe that to also take our major news for the day. So please don't go away. After the news, we'll still come back. Though it will be another set, but definitely the two of us are still coming back. So we thank you once again.
To God be the glory.
And we also stay by too to see how this evaluation.
Okay, let me go home and my wife.
She must have had you.
But I think sin is believing. Okay. So that I don't believe that I will be the other.
Lẹ́yìn tàbá wá ka ìròyìn tán àwọn ikọ̀ míì tí ó tún kọ ètò yìí àwọn ó tún wọlé ṣùgbọ́n ìwé àti Bíọ́dún àpadàbọ̀ láàjì ilẹ̀ òjò máa kedere sórí ètò ilẹ̀ ẹ̀kú kalẹ̀.
Black Wall Street Africa
in conjunction with OSBC
don't show with Osun Eastern Mega Jams, the organ of them all. Ogbonge artists like Atawawa Sule, Emperor Ade, P-Red, Shinorambo, Lil Cash, Clever J, DT, Poppy Wizzy, Sanyeri, Alaria, Dr. Bengu,
Danny S, and Stylie Brothers.
and plenty other persons go tanda there that day. Date na April 9, 2023. Venue Osogbo City Stadium. Time na 2 p.m. Gate fee 500 for students with ID card, 1K for any other person. You fit get your ticket for Rev FM, Osbc, supermarket them, plus including higher institutions them for Osun State. You fit still get them for gate for that day. You want get more information? May you green 0705 555 5321. Osun Easter Mega Jams. Make them not give you gist. Rush, go collect your ticket. No miss am. Black Wall Street.
Èmi àjàwó olúmọ̀dá kó tó di pàwọn arábí ọ̀dọ́dọ̀ mi ó ti kọjú kú wa. Ládé dé ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo sọ ló fi sáré wà ní. Àwọn agbóhùn mi gan-an. Àwọn ilé tó kà ní ni. Ẹ dákẹ́ gbọ́ná kí n tèmi bí èmi kí n jẹ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ṣé dandan ni kí wọ́n kà mí? Èmi náà kí ni o ti ẹ̀yẹ́ mi jẹ? Èmi náà wù mí kí n ti à.
Yìí tí ọ̀yin ìpà ń para rẹ̀ ló ń pàjá. Sẹ́yìn ọmọ pé nígbà bá lélẹ́ bá máa yẹ ọmọ tó bí. Ẹni ọmọ yẹ déédé ìtọ́jú tí ó ṣe fún wa. Nígbà àjọba bá máa yẹ tá a jẹ gan. Ẹni wọ́n bí mi ọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n ṣe fún wa.
Òdodo ọ̀rọ̀ lọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ yóò ọpọlọ rẹ̀ ò sí ìjọba.
Ẹ̀yà jẹ́wọ́ àbúrò wa kíjọba ó lè lè rọrùn tí wọ́n ṣe fún wa.
Ìmọ̀ràn yìí wá látọwọ́ àjọ elétò ìkànìyàn nípìnlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun.
Hey, Star Times don't bring una another nyafu reward this Easter and Ramadan season. Oh, this one now extra jara, and now why we call am Season of Goodness promo. We get thousands of juicy content where you fit choose from. You and your family go fit enjoy ogbonge series on ST Novella like Three Sisters, Kiddies Channel like Cartoon and Jim Jam, plenty Nollywood channels, and many religion channels. To enjoy this offer, recharge for 2 months on Nova, Basic or Smart Bouquet, and you get an instant boost to the next higher bouquet. Recharge 2 months on top your classic or super, and you go enjoy 10 days extra. This promo now from March 20 go reach April 30. No do yourself, oh, hurry, make yourself collect your own days of goodness. Terms and conditions apply. Star Times, entertain your family.
ńláńlá ẹjọ́ tí kì í channel òdòdó ìjọjà kìtà yẹ sọ fún wọn Osbc lókè balẹ̀ ẹjọ́ tí tún ìrè jẹ́ lọ́nà sọ. ẹgbẹ́ fọlọ́ọ̀dà wá síbẹ̀ wọn Osbc channel 32 kí náà ṣe ibẹ̀ gan jìjì tún lè ṣàdúró ẹ̀ṣin ọmọ wọn sọ̀rọ̀ àsìkò ní àjẹrà wọ́n ṣàkóso ní lọ́gbọ́n náà lọ́gàn òjò kan àwọn àsìkò tó tún bá gbàgbọ́ gidi a ṣe publicity fún business tí a jáwó ìwọ lọ rí wọn tún lè ṣàdó bàbá ọgbọ́n ṣòkòrò kí lókè balẹ̀ náà wà ṣòkòrò kí lókè balẹ̀ náà wà.
On the next night, President Buhari preaches against vote buying as he casts votes in Katsina. Osun residents vote in State Assembly election alongside 10 others in governorship and State Assembly polls. Millions of dead fresh fish found in Australia water. Good evening, I would like to have you join us on the major report. I am Olubumi Ajiboye Agbola. President Muhammadu Buhari said his administration has been preaching against vote buying and monetization of politics, calling on politicians to desist from such acts. President Buhari, who spoke to newsmen in English and Hausa languages after casting his vote at polling unit 003, Sakriwara in Daura, Katsina State, called on electorates to vote for their preferred candidates, even if politicians try to offer them money. He thanked the voters for cooperating with the President's administration's laid down rules and regulations through the Independent National Electoral Commission. Reports say that the President did not openly display his ballot papers as he did during the February 25 presidential election. Senate President Ahmed Lawan has lauded the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari as well as the 9th National Assembly, saying both deserve some credits for the improvements witnessed in the country's electoral process. Senator Lawan said this shortly after casting his vote at the Katuzu Ward polling unit in Bade local government area of Yobe State during the governorship and State House of Assembly elections. According to him, the present administration allows the electoral process to be entirely determined by the guidelines and regulations of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Meanwhile, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has urged security operatives to investigate those involved in threats and violence towards the build-up of the governorship and House of Assembly elections. Honorable Gbajabiamila said this at his polling unit 014, Ward 08, Masha, Surulere, Lagos. After casting his vote, he said the perpetrators, whoever they are or the party they support, should be brought to book to serve as a deterrent to others moving forward in future elections. According to him, voting in line with personal interest is part of the freedom of expression guaranteed in the Constitution, and no one has the right to interfere or hinder anybody in exercising their franchise. The Biamina commended the Independent National Electoral Commission for improving the electoral process, noting that the governorship and House of Assembly elections were more seamless compared with the presidential and senatorial elections held on February 25. Eligible voters in Osun State joined others nationwide to participate in the scheduled governorship and House of Assembly elections. Wards and units visited in Wasini, Ilewole North Local Council Development Area, Ikire Ilewole Local Government Area, Ikoyi, Ishokan South Local Council Development Area, as well as Aklimu in Ishokan Local Government Area of Osun State. Voters were spotted on the queue, waiting patiently and orderly to elect their representatives in the State House of Assembly. Accreditation and voting, which started on schedule, were diligently supervised by officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission, verifying eligible voters with beavers machines, as well as giving instructions on the ballot papers. Osbc reporter Soyana Rude also observed every process of Nigerian Army personnel, the Nigeria Police, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, and other security agents to ensure peaceful conduct of the exercise. The much anticipated governorship and state legislative elections across the country started as scheduled by the Independent National Electoral Commission, though with the exception of 8 states that include Osun, Ekiti, Edo, and Ondo, among others, not having governorship election. Osbc News crew who monitor the activities in the Ijugbe local government area reports that the exercise went smoothly, although the presence of security was not noticed in polling centers in Ejigbo local government area. Speaking with OSBC News, our former Speaker for Osho State House of Assembly, Professor Majid Alabi, expressed satisfaction with the process, saying the turnout of electorates has so far been impressive. He commended the INEC for putting adequate preparation in place, leading to the success of the exercise. Also speaking with OSBC News, in their polling units are a former chairman of Ejigbo local government area, Honorable Adebayo Bolao, and Dr. Richard Ido, who mentioned that the exercise was peaceful and orderly. A visit to Sumbe, Inisha, Hodo, Ayubule, Ato, and Ejigbo Town, Ijimoba, Ilawo, Ola, Ika, Mosifa, among others, indicate that residents observed the movement restrictions orders as directed by the Nigerian police. In the meantime, no record of malfunctioning of the biometric voter accreditation machine provided by INEC to capture and identify electors before voting. As at the time of filing this report, there was no turnout of voters in Ife East local government area in the State House of Assembly elections. At polling unit 1 in Owa Ife, the turnout was low compared to what was obtainable during the presidential and National Assembly elections. The elderly, pregnant, and nursing mothers were accorded the needed preferences just as security operatives were on ground to ensure peace. However, there was a mild drama at Ward 3 in Lawi when a team of hoodlums disrupted the election process and broke the ballot box. Speaking with newsmen shortly after his accreditation and voting, the Deputy Governor, Prince Kola Davis, led the process of the election. He, however, condemned the outbreaks of violence recorded in some polling units, saying that security operatives are on top of the situation. Speaking in the same vein, Mr. B. Yodunari decried the low turnout of voters, which he alluded to apathy. He, however, commended the electoral umpire for a job well done. Voting and accreditation of electorates commenced early enough in wards and units visited in Irejesha, Ijebu, Ijesha, Ijeda, Ipetu Ijesha, Ikeji Arakeji, Owena, and some other places visited by OSBC News crew who monitored the exercise in Oriade State constituency as the security operatives were strategically positioned to foster breakdown of law and order. Aged, pregnant women and physically challenged people were given preference to cast their ballots. Speaking with newsmen immediately after casting his ballot, a legal practitioner, Pebumi Olajembesi, who commended the Independent National Electoral Commission for ensuring fair and credible elections, among the low turnout of electorates during the exercise. The reshaped governorship and State House of Assembly election is taking place today in all the 36 states of the country. Voting started in Atakumosa West and East on schedule as both officials and equipment arrived on time at Ifewara, Iwara, Okebodi, Atore, Osu, Ibodi areas. The atmosphere was peaceful, though security presence was visible in all the polling stations. The Beavers machine functioned optimally and the election has been orderly so far. The State House of Assembly election in Ayeda, the local government area of Osho State, commenced at scheduled time as INEC ad hoc staff arrived polling units early enough with election materials for the exercise. The biometric voter accreditation machine was used to either capture the faces or fingerprints of voters before they were allowed to cast their votes. Officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission also enforced priority voting in some polling units as the aged, people with disability, pregnant women, and nursing mothers got quick attention. OSBC News monitored the election in Odeomo, Bogo, and Orilewu and observed that turnout of voters was generally low in some polling units, while some others witnessed large turnout of voters. It was also observed that the election was generally peaceful as security officers were fully on ground to maintain law and order. Some of the voters who spoke in separate interviews with OSBC News, including the former Minister of Police Affairs, Alhaji Abdul Adesina, and President Otumba Bayo, stated that the election has been generally peaceful and expressed hope that the outcome will reflect the wish of the people and further help in strengthening Nigeria's democracy. Eligible voters across Iwepo State's constituency trooped out to perform their civic rights in choosing the candidates of their choice at the State Assembly polls. As early as 8 o'clock in the morning, voters were already on queue to perform their civic responsibility. OSBC News crew observed a smooth and peaceful conduct at various wards and units visited in Ilebu, Ifon, Shorode, and other villages and towns in the constituency. It was a turnout of electorate in wards and units visited just as security situation was at its peak to protect lives of voters. Speaking with OSBC News former Commissioner for Finance in the state, Mrs. Oluwemi Wilson, Mr. Ebnoza Adeniji, and Emmanuel Ayinde attested that the exercise was violence-free, as none of the INEC officers and security agents compromised their primary assignment at the poll. Notwithstanding the low turnout of voters, today's election had been peaceful and orderly in all the units visited by OSBC News in the Enugu State constituency. Findings by OSBC News crew in different polling units in Ward 12, in Ikorode, Ward 9, and 10 Iba, Ward 11 Obabo, and Wards 1 to 8 in Ikenwu Township indicates a peaceful environment with orderliness and amity among various party agents. Those who spoke to OSBC News, including a federal legislator, former council chairman, and secretaries across political divides, among other stakeholders, lent credence to the fact that the election was smooth as at the time of filing this report. The INEC officials also conducted themselves orderly, while security agents, including soldiers, police, NSCDC, FRSC, among others, exhibited a high level of professionalism and civility. As at the time of this report, voting had been concluded in some polling units, with stakeholders waiting for counting, while voting was underway in other polling units. The State House of Assembly election was peaceful in all the polling units monitored by OSBC crew in Odot in the government area today. Staff reporter Adeboye Popola, who led the OSBC election monitoring team, moved around the polling units in Inisha, Ikosin, Igbayi, Konta, Faji, Ijabe, Asi, and Okuku, where the electorate exercised their civic rights dutifully. Electoral materials and INEC officials got to polling units ahead of commencement of the poll. The Beavers machine was efficient in capturing of electorate, but there were few cases of rejection of voters by the Beavers. Parties mainly APC, PDP, and APM were those they met at all the polling units. There were presence of security agents at the polling units and highways, which were blocked by the military to forestall disobedience and to the order prohibiting human and vehicular movement while the poll lasted. The logistics conduct of the State House of Assembly election in the federal and local government area of the state has been observed to be a plus for INEC. This is the findings by OSBC News crew that monitored the election in polling units and wards across the local government area. The deployment of Beavers machines was seen to be the right measure for ensuring free, fair, and credible poll with the acceleration of accreditation process. The areas visited, which included Okeila-Orogun, Orai Gomino, Alagbede, Idi Odon, voters were on queue in an orderly manner waiting to cast their ballots. The security situation, as observed, was adequate with the presence of the security officers at the strategic locations. We now go on a commercial break. Please stay tuned to
Life presents hopes, dreams, and challenges. Challenges that can become successes with a little help. Because a little help can empower you to go from despair to celebration. A little help can keep you going until the race is won. A little help can turn bundles of anxiety into a bundle of joy. And with Glow Data, you get much more than just a little help. You get the biggest data deals in town to make every day glow with small wins and big wins. Dial *777# to select your Glow Data plan.
Come back to the major reports. And now welcome to the passport segment. Hundreds of people, including Ghana's president, paid their last respects to Christian Atsu, who died in last month's earthquake in Turkey. His funeral is being held outside State House in Ghana's capital, Accra. The footballer's widow, Marie-Claire Rupio, who was overcome with emotion, added a speech to Atsu's sister for reading. She described Atsu as a bosom part of her, who will continue smiling even as it rests in eternity. Representatives of Ghana's national team and Atsu's Turkish club, Ayaspor, were also at the ceremony for a man seen by many as a national hero. You are welcome to the Forest. Residents in regional Australian town have woken to find millions of dead fish in their river. The large-scale fish deaths were first reported in the New South Wales town of Menindee. The state river authority said it was a result of an ongoing heat wave affecting the Darling Barker River. Locals said it is the largest fish death event to hit the town that experienced another significant mass death of fish just 3 years ago. The New South Wales Department of Primary Industries said the heat wave puts further stress on a system that has experienced extreme conditions from wide-scale flooding. Heat waves have become more frequent, more intense, and last longer because of human-induced climate change, as the world has already warmed by about 1.1 Celsius since the industrial era began, and temperatures will keep rising unless governments around the world make steep cuts to emissions. And that was the major report on Osbc television. This was edited by Kayode. I am Olubumi Ajiboye Agbola, wishing you a splendid night.
oníṣòwò kékèké pẹ̀lú oníṣòwò ńláńlá ẹjọ́ tí kí channel wo ìlú ìjọjà peter yẹ sọ fún wọn. Osbc ló ké balẹ̀ sí ẹjọ́ tí tún ìlú rẹ̀ jẹ́ lọ́nà ẹ̀sọ́. Osbc channel 32 kí ló ṣe ibẹ̀ gan òjijì tó lè ṣàdùnwẹ̀ ṣí ọmọ wọn sọ̀rọ̀ àsìkò ní àjọyọ̀ àjọyọ̀ wọ́n ṣàkóso ìlọ́gbọ́n náà lọ́gàn òjò kan àwọn àsìkò kó tún bàbá mú kiri. Má ṣe publicity fún business tí a jáwó. Ìwọ lọ rí wọn tún lè ṣàdó bàbá ọgbọ́n. Ṣòkòrò kí ló gé balẹ̀ náà wà ó. Ṣòkòrò kí ló gé balẹ̀ náà wà ó.
Àgbẹ̀ ló ṣiṣẹ́ ìdáná.